Pimp,
Bitch,
pimp.
a bitch can't get $1 out of me.
You sick again?
A little bit.
Question for you.
What up?
Because I thought I had proposed the idea of having Alex on for Eurovision, but you said that Paul might be here this weekend. Is he coming this weekend?
I don't think so, but I don't know if Alex wants to do it.
Okay. I was gonna say if Paul is and she wants to, we could do that one the next week, and we can do avocado women in the cannibal women in the avocado jungle of death this weekend.
I
But
think the roads are too bad. Yeah.
okay, so we'll stick with Eurovision. If she wants to join us, she's more than happy to.
Okay. Where are we at in this recording?
I did just notice that I forgot to record the second part of the video after you ended the one call, so we only have one part of the video, but that's fine.
You can just put like audio with a picture of us or something.
No, I won't do that. I will not do that.
Like a painting or something.
Like a dick pic.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Nicole Kidman is we just said that she is on one of those Twitter world star videos beating up black people in Southside Chicago.
Okay, sure. And we're into the movie.
And we're into the movie, so we'll hit it with some movies. And god damn, Milwaukee beat the Celtics 135 to 102.
Was it in Milwaukee?
It was in Milwaukee. It was on a back-to-back
still
because
alive.
of the Wolves game
Wolvies.
last night. And Tatum wasn't 100, Porzingis wasn't 100, Holiday wasn't 100. So they played all their starters like 20 minutes or less. So I'm thinking they just did a kind of a rest game and just chalk this one up for a loss.
Hunted.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And yeah, we'll movie it. 1, 2, 3, play.
Movie.
Huh, movie.
Movie. What a day. Here we are.
It got a lot colder in the last couple seconds.
Sicker.
Like
my voice.
You got sicker. It dropped 40 degrees in the last 20 seconds. It's crazy.
Montana weatherman.
Speaking of movies,
we got one.
We do have one, but I was going to say, for Christmas, my mom's side of the family, all of us cousins, aunts, and uncles, we always just do a name drawing and pick out of a hat and see like who gets whom for a Christmas present because there's too many. Yeah. And once we turned 18, we're in it, and I have now been in it for 10 years. This was my 10th year being in it.
28. Happy birthday.
Thank you. No, that 28 will be next in May, but I've done it for 10 years now. And this was, I think, the 8th time of my 10 years in that my cousin who was on this podcast, Eric, got me. Like the probability of that happening is...
He's juicing it.
I did the math. It's like 0.00034%. And I'm like, how in the hell? But I'm like, he's got to be running out of ideas for me, getting me every single year.
Got you a movie.
He got me maybe the best thing yet. He got me a subscription to the A24.
Oh, that is cool.
Member
Library.
Plan. Yeah. And it comes with this A24 card and member pin. Here's the pin. And then I get like discounts and things of like behind the scenes on A24 films, rentals of movies or purchasing of movies beforehand. And then each month I get a magazine or a newsletter of some sort. And so I got my first magazine this time, A24 issue number 24. It's just called the Von Erichs for the Iron Claw. It's all about the family of the wrestling and everything.
They're all suicides.
So
a lot of that. They'll die.
Don't spoil it for people.
That's a very, very well-known family. That's spoiling the ending of JFK. But yeah,
what happened
that's
there?
sick. The CIA did it. Everyone knows that.
CIA did what?
They killed JFK. They killed a sitting president. They shot Jack Kennedy in office on that day in Dallas. They paid Lee Harvey Oswald to do it. This is common knowledge. They paid Jack Ruby to kill Lee Harvey Oswald from squealing. There's a reason why Lee Harvey Oswald spent 2 years in Soviet Russia during this time period, Brandon. Did you know this?
No.
A trained sniper from the American Marines goes over to Russia for 2 years, comes back. Totally fine, totally normal.
Hold up, Louis being suspicious. Ramble about the CIA some more.
It's just, I mean, the notion that this man acted alone, it's been just overly discussed, but obviously I think that's a fairy tale. Lee Harvey Oswald was, of course, being aided by some organization. How else can a man get in and out of Russia willy-nilly, live there, get a Russian bride back to America, all with a dishonorable discharge from the United States military? I don't think so.
That's crazy. I thought they just took him out for ice cream.
Common misconception.
Well, speaking of foreign countries and FBI, CIA, kind of similar. We got FBI. A movie.
We got The Rock. He's big. The Rock.
He's huge.
And he's like a hostage guy.
I don't hate him in this role, like I said. At least he is a former Special Forces FBI hostage, like SWAT team kind of guy.
Instead of what?
Like Red Notice. Oh, he's the world's greatest con man. No, he's not. He's fucking 6'6", 300 pounds. He can't escape anyone. He doesn't blend in.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He's like a military-looking dude.
Or like Jumanji. Like, I don't need him to be funny or stuff like that. It's like, make him this character. So
he's not funny. Well. He isn't. You're right. He's fundamentally uncharismatic, but he's a hostage guy at the start of this movie.
He is. Snow is falling in Ash Lake, Minnesota, 10 years ago. Have you been to Ash Lake, Minnesota?
I may have driven through. Beautiful part of the country.
Police radios are calling in for all units about a possible domestic disturbance with hostage situation and an officer down. At this point, I was like, possible? Like, you know, like, of course you know, but Ray is telling the FBI that if he doesn't see taillights or snipers gone in 5 minutes, he's going to kill his ex-wife and his 2 kids. The FBI obeys the orders. But in comes the Special Forces, one of which is Will Sawyer, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a member of the FBI.
He's big.
He's big.
Fucking huge.
Did we mention that? The Special Forces, usually when you see like a recon, they sneak in through a door or something and come up and take
a barrel right through.
They blew a hole in the side of the cabin. Not so secretly.
Element of surprise gone, but the element of like shock maybe there.
The element of we got you at gunpoint, Ray. So he's like, "All right, I'm finished." But when he turns around,
he hugs his kid. Yeah,
he's got his son as a hostage. When he realizes that he doesn't have, or Will does realize that he's like he doesn't have a gun on him, he's able to use his charm to talk Ray into putting down his son and giving up. And so he does.
It'll be okay, which is a lie.
Such a fucking lie. Plot twist. He puts his son down. He's strapped with a vest as C4.
Suicide vest, yeah. He's a terrorist.
Kills himself, kills his whole family, and the Special Forces. All of them are dead. Except.
No, Ben's there too.
Yeah.
All the Special Forces are dead.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And the Rock's leg dies too.
His leg dies, yeah. Will's in the hospital, holding on to his life from the blast, and they put My note was, fuck. A doctor who happens to be a female stares at him and assures him he will be okay. They better not fall in love.
His future wife.
It's 100% his future wife. Of course it's his future wife.
Yeah, and that she's building the cast too.
Well, now it's Hong Kong present day title
10 years
drop.
later.
Vertical title drop.
Not bad.
Not bad.
It's a skyscraper.
It sure was.
Is this based on any existing property or anything? Like a stupid, like a fucking mobile game or something like that?
I don't think so, no. I didn't find anything about it.
Okay, fresh idea.
But there's a new skyscraper in Hong Kong that's the tallest building on Earth, and it's built by Xiaolong Li. The news is reporting all about what it's called as the Pearl and how it operates. It's sustainability, it's somehow practicality at that height, and the potential tourism boost for the economy.
It's some big circle in the middle keeps it all balanced, I guess. And then I thought it was crazy. They were like, they can't insure the second half of it because they're like, it's too big. Don't want to insure it. So like, what the fuck are you doing building this thing?
Yeah. The building's sick though. Like, it's kind of like a spiral all the way up.
How does this guy get his money? Yeah.
I don't know. It's also got, it's sustainable because it runs on wind power. It's so high up. There are two giant metal like wind turbines on the outside that are kind of sunken into the system, powering the whole thing. And at the very top is a sphere. This is the penthouse. The sphere of the Pearl. The building is the Pearl. No.
Well, it's the Pearl of the Pearl. It's like a circular shape.
It's the sphere of the Pearl.
No, it's the Pearl.
Oh, don't bite him, Jinjo.
The Pearl, yeah. It's the Pearl.
Basketball.
It's the basketball. The basket Pearl.
And yeah, so the bottom half is like all commercial and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, floor 96 and up is all residential, which is uninsured. Like, oh, I'm gonna live on the 120th floor, but it's not insured that I'm able to.
I think it was like not even insured like by the developers, the construction of it.
Yeah. And Will is preparing for work at this building. He's speaking in Mandarin. Oh, he lost his leg too. You see that in my note. God damn it, the surgeon is his wife. But Will is nervous about his new job at the Pearl. But his friend Ben ended up sticking up for him to get him this opportunity, since his company is just like a small, like almost like a family-owned small business startup security. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ben was one of his FBI crew homies
that was in that hostage situation.
So they're brothers for life.
Of course. You're my brother.
Yeah, better reading than The Rock.
It's because I can read. It's because I can read.
Yeah. Yeah, he is big. We've said that. I don't know if we've said that he sucks. I think he's bad in this role. I'll just say there's just absolutely no charisma at all in The Rock here. It's like where it's a ripoff of Die Hard, with fucking John McClane, like the most charismatic fucking kick-ass hero of all time with the one-liners and the quips and the faces. And The Rock is literally aptly named The Rock because he's so stone-faced the whole time. I hate it.
It's funny that everybody loves The Rock so much and like says he's so charismatic.
I know that people are like he thinks he should run for president, and it's like if fucking Kevin James ran for president or something.
That'd be awesome.
Movie star. No. He's big. He's huge. He's so big.
Oh, I was talking about Kevin James.
He's big too.
Yeah, he is. So Will is at the top of the Pearl, the uninsured section, floor 225, meeting Xiaoling Li. He looks like an idiot as he walks in, and he said his one Mandarin phrase back to Zhao, and then Zhao responds in all Mandarin.
Got nothing left.
But once again, like we said, just half hour ago, moments ago, the Mandarin is not subtitled, so you don't know what they're actually saying. Yeah, it's apparently this is not important to the story, even though there's so much of it. But They are planning on opening up the residential upper half, and Will is the person to make sure all the safety codes, like the CO2 monitors, the fire suppression, all that stuff,
coming in,
are up to date and in tip-top shape. And all that is left is that he must visit an off-site facility that will house the data metrics for everything. He's given a tablet that he can access within the off-site facility, but no one else can. It's got a facial recognition.
It's his cool iPad, yeah.
And he's like, all right, I'll take care of it. But Zhao brings Will up to the top of the pearl to see the sphere, or the pearl of the pearl.
The pearl.
I'm going to show you what this is all about. And as he leaves, his friend Ben gets a text saying that now that he has the tablet, to just get him on the boat.
Just get him on the boat. Nothing else matters. Mysterious that Ben was getting this text, yeah.
You know who else was mysterious?
Who, Radley?
Sure. The skinny little white boy that was Zhao's like second in command guy. There was Zhao, who was the head. He's like, these are my two.
He was cool. I thought he liked him. Yeah.
The head of security, the black guy, was awesome too.
Yeah, I liked him as well. Yeah, he sucked. You're right.
But they get into the sphere.
You're right. The sphere is I don't. It's interesting. It's like a 12-year-old's idea of what the coolest room in the world would be. I think
I think it's fucking sick, but I don't understand like the practicality.
That's the functionality of it. Exactly. It's a fucking funhouse mirror room. That's what it is.
It's what it is it's floor to ceiling 8K cameras with nanotechnology to give you the ultimate tourist destination, where like it's a giant mirror room, but that they can change it almost like the Sphere in Vegas now, where it's a giant like almost looks like a simulation.
Except this is like inside the sphere. Yeah, it's meant to, and then they like do this thing where he flips a button and it turns into like this like wooded forest, and the rock's like, oh my god, this looks like a forest or whatever.
And I think the big selling point was when they flipped another switch and like they all turned to what outside of the sphere actually looks like. So it looks like you're standing in midair 225 stories up just in Hong Kong.
That's cool, but
like I said, which is cool, but you how do you get to the sphere? You either have to have your own helicopter to get up to the helipad, or you have to go through the man's penthouse to get into it. And it's supposed to be this #1 tourist destination in Hong Kong.
It's just like a big VR room.
It's cool. It's just cool, not practical.
Zhao blows the rock's mind because he pulls up like 70 LED panel mirrors, and he's like, which one am I?
Oh yeah, big magician prestige. Now you see me, mind trickery shit.
Yeah.
Now you see me too.
Like, it's sort of like a little Wonka thing. Like all my tech dreams have come true.
Now you see me too.
A great movie name title.
So Will is now on a ferry with Ben, the boat. And they're talking about how they miss the team, you know? They were bros. They were brothers. They were on a team. But now Will hasn't picked up a gun since he's stable in his life with his wife and his kids. He said he'd be lost without his family, and if it weren't for the bombing, he never would have met Sarah. But Ben's like
thankful for all those deaths, yeah.
But Ben's like, oh, so you're saying because I don't have a family now, I'm just a piece of shit?
A little bit.
He's like, oh no.
Yeah, great impression. It's I don't know. The Rock did get over his grief of seeing a lot of people killed in a suicide. I mean, it's been 10 years, I guess. We kind of hear about it.
And a man on the ferry's eyeing Will, and as they get off, he comes to steal his bag containing the tablet and escapes a fight with the Rock and parkours the hell out of there. And
yeah,
Ben's like, mission accomplished.
Bad sign for your head of security. Get pickpocketed.
Right? He's not so secure anymore. And then a group of workers are breaking through a wall in what I assumed was the off-site facility. But it wasn't. They choke out a worker.
It's back to Pearl, yeah.
Through the wall. They choke the worker through the wall.
That was like a stupid thing, yeah.
And then they start bringing in hazardous waste barrels.
For people to go into.
What could happen there? Yeah, some Breaking Bad shit. Well, as Ben is patching up Will's arm because the thief cut him with a knife.
And now he's lost an arm too.
No, it's still there. Will reveals that he still has the tablet on him. He's like, "Oh, I kept it in my coat pocket. How lucky am I, man?"
Not may I like spoil the end of the movie. Not the first time he hides something under his shirt. The Rock, good gambit he likes to pull in this film.
How was that impression of The Rock?
That was good.
That was a good reading.
Little too highbrow, maybe.
No, all right, man.
That was not bad.
That's a good one. And Ben's like, well, "Fuck." He's like, "I gotta go make a call." He makes a call and speaks all in Mandarin in a disappointed tone to this person.
We don't know what it says. Yeah.
Yeah. And back at the Pearl, Sarah and the kids, they went to the zoo. They were gonna go visit the pandas, and Ben gave them access to touch the pandas' mouths or something after it closed.
After it closed, he's got special panda tickets, which you'd leave the pandas alone, right? If it's closed, it's their personal time. You don't need people coming and touching their mouths.
Yeah, that's if I get home from work like today and it's a 10+ hour day,
and Marina invites people over to touch your mouth.
I'm sitting on the couch. She invites somebody over and they're touching my mouth while I'm on the couch just trying to watch TikToks. Yeah, I'm super pissed.
And that's a day of work for a panda, being at the zoo.
Panda rights matter.
They're dumb creatures, though.
They are back from visiting the pandas because their son was puking or something.
He's sick, yeah.
He was sick. And they see the guys who broke in through the wall on their floor inspecting phone lines, is what they said.
Not choking people.
And they're like, "Oh, there's no phones up here." And they're like, "Well, we're inspecting. They're going to be." And the guys aren't concerned about taking out the family because they were like, "Should we take them out?" They're like, "No."
Kids, yeah.
They're like, "What we just set up will take care of them soon enough." They're like, "What did they set up? Will suicide bomb in action? We don't know."
Yeah, I was going to say.
But Will hears that his family's back, so he's going to go back home to his family. But Ben starts spilling the beans. He's like,
did you say family more times in this movie or when it's Fast and Furious? He doesn't say family all that often. Fast and Furious, right?
He says it nonstop.
Well, isn't that Vin Diesel's thing? He's kind of like the anti-family.
That's right. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's Vin Diesel's thing. Vin Diesel says it more than this, but he does say family a lot in this.
And their colleagues, yeah.
Yeah. And so Will's trying to get home, but Ben's like, "You should have let him take the tablet, man." And so he holds him at gunpoint.
Ben, no. We were brothers in Iraq /
and now
Minnesota. Yeah.
Similar vibes, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful parts of the United States, Iraq.
That's kind of what that vibe is, right? Like he's supposed to be like he got blown up in battle, but he's an FBI guy, so they just put him in Minnesota.
Yeah. And big fisticuff fights between former FBI special agents. During the fight, Ben's trying to shoot Will, but as he fires the gun, Will pushes the gun away and it fires into Ben's gut, is how it ends. Yep. Also, a lot of it is Will hobbling around because he has a prosthetic leg, and Ben took it from him.
Yeah, a great move in any fight against a fake-legged man. You should just take it. Good move. You're right.
Use it as a bat.
Just like take it and throw it and be like, you gotta walk around funny.
I mean, The Rock is big. Like, we will admit that he's a former wrestler. But if you are on one leg, you should be able to take him. That balance is way off.
That's like 20 pounds, 30, 40 pounds of him gone.
Yeah, now you might have a weight advantage.
It helps anyways.
Yeah. But anyway, he beats Ben. And Ben is like bleeding out. He tells Will that your family was never supposed to be there. The men will kill him for the tablets.
Yeah. Stupid last words.
And so he dies.
Anything of your own to say? Your last words on Earth, Ben? Like, I love this girl, or I'm sorry.
Remember,
I
his
did
life.
this. I'm
His life
sorry
was
I
a
did this.
failure. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He pulls out a Simon Birch. I'm sorry.
for killing your mom.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, The Rock. I killed your mom as I hit a home run. The ball hit her in the temple, domed her.
He'd be cool with it.
But yeah, so he's like, you need to get out of here because these guys are coming for you too. And the guys with the barrels
For your family.
earlier started a giant fire on the 96th floor. The Rock's family lives on the 98th. And this is a fire that the anti-fire measures won't get rid of.
Too high up.
Too high up. They haven't set everything up yet with the safety measures in the residential area.
Exactly, because this is like a preview of what's going on, and they're actively disabling all this shit too as they go.
Yep, because the dudes with the barrels are working with this Chinese
What's
chick.
his name? What's her name?
I don't remember hers. I would have to look. His name was
What's the guy's name?
Bota.
Yeah. What's his ethnicity?
Seemed like he would be a Russian.
Bota's not really a Russian.
But Bota's not Russian.
Man, he's like a Middle Eastern Russian dude. Yeah,
could be.
Becky.
And as Ben dies, he tells Will to run. But as Will runs, Becky.
Who's Becky?
Oh,
who's Becky?
It's like, who's Becky? Who's Becky?
Becky?
But as Will decides to run, the people that he was working for come up heavily armed and start firing at Will. He escapes outside when a woman, this Chinese woman I mentioned that was working with Bota, tases him, steals the tablet, scans his face, and escapes a giant shootout with the cops. She was
classic.
She was sneaky. She was always
sexy.
She was pretty sexy, yeah.
No, but yeah, this is some Die Hard shit too. The initial, you gotta lose, you gotta get kicked out of the fucking building
to get back
away, to get back in.
And Will escapes the cops too in that giant gunfire, and he steals.
They're after him, yeah.
No, but he steals a police bike to get to the sphere because they are on the 98th floor and the fire's on the 96th.
Now they're after him. Can't steal a police bike.
Of course. And so you meet, I don't remember the cop's name either, but now we get their two like main cops, the detectives, a man and a woman, and they're talking about how they need to, I'm assuming how they need to get their bike back and catch the girl, but also catch the Rock, but it's all in Cantonese and or Mandarin. I wasn't sure. And it's not subtitled for us on this 3-minute dialogue thing. And I'm like, what am I listening to?
You gotta use context clues, Brandon.
I was using context clues, but come on.
Like some dialogue.
The people that are going to watch Skyfall, or not Skyscraper, need a little help.
Yeah, they do.
But what about Skyfall?
I like Skyfall. Is that the one with the Sam Smith theme?
No, that's Adele. Spectre was Sam Smith. The writings on the wall. But Skyfall was in the Skyfall, in the crumble.
That one's better.
I haven't seen either, but I've heard Skyfall is just absolutely fantastic.
I like them all.
The best Bond movie I heard of any of them is Skyfall.
They kick some shit in, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Skyfall. I like the one that came out. I kind of like the one that came out in COVID.
No Time to Die with Ana de
Armas. With Rami Malek.
And Rami, yep.
I like the Christoph Waltz one. Is that Spectre?
That's Skyfall.
No.
I think, I'm looking real quick. I
think that's...
No, because Javier Bardem is the villain in Skyfall. So it's got to be Spectre.
He's like Dr. No or something.
Yep, it's Christoph Waltz in that one. And Leah Seydoux and...
Seydoux.
Fine. Seydoux. You hear about the new movie with Jason Statham called The Beekeeper?
Yeah, I did see that.
It's like I watched the whole
Probably a
trailer and then it was
podcast
like,
for us.
and then it was like the beekeeper. I was like, wait, what? This is
For
full
us,
like action.
action, fucking spy thriller. Yeah, he always does that.
Back to this movie though. Zhao realizes that Will's family is in the building. He's getting readings that doors are opening and shit, and he's gonna
like,
try.
Giddy.
He's gonna try and get them to the penthouse for safety.
Oh, Zhao, not Zhao. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ota's like, gimme, 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 gimme.
yeah. But Will is gonna help them navigate out of the building through FaceTime. He's like, I know you're gonna go to this. You're gonna hit these things, and then you're gonna go up, and you'll be fine. And that sexy, mysterious lady with the tablet got the access to the offsite facility, kills everyone in there,
murders him,
and now has access to all of the building's security controls. And
down go those securities.
And the
sprinklers
fire
fucking
doors close and the sprinklers fucking stop, and then the air comes in and all the fire doors open
and more fires coming.
Fucking more fires coming high.
They're gonna burn these fucking kids alive. They're gonna show that in this movie.
Oh, of course they are. The bad guys have now sealed all the fire doors from 96th floor and down and turn the fire suppression off to all the floors above. They're like, you guys are gonna burn. They've also framed Will for all these actions, and now he's a wanted criminal. Like the news got news of this so fast and made a graphic. Hong Kong's most wanted. He's like, what the
Will
fuck?
Howard. Will whatever his name is.
Will Sawyer.
Will Sawyer. There's a kid at my school named Sawyer, and he told me he was named after the Sawyer from Lost.
I never watched Lost. That's on my to watch list.
It's very good. He's not a noble character in that show. He's very devious.
Breaking news: the Thunder beat the Trailblazers by 62, tied for the 5th largest win in NBA history. Good lord.
Easy.
Yeah, I've always wanted to watch Lost. At least the first 2 seasons, because I hear those are phenomenal.
I've seen the first 4 and then I stopped, and
isn't there only 5?
Into it. No, it was like 7 or something.
Well,
maybe it was 5.
Zhao and his 2 top men, the security officer and the skinny white dude, are finally going to escape in a helicopter, leaving only Will's family and the bad guys in the building. And this badass evil woman just killed her own hacker when he was like, I did all this work and this is how I did it and I'm the only one who can control everything. She's like, fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah. Down he goes. I mean, that's like a very criminal thing to do.
Oh yeah, I mean, I expected it, but it was badass.
That's always in like a criminal robbery movie, right? Like,
yeah,
there's 3 of them left. Like, we got away. I got my cut. What are you gonna do with your cut? And like, I'm gonna take your cut.
That's the opening of The Dark Knight with the bank scene. God, The Dark Knight is so good.
Christopher Nolan.
Oh my God, it's so good. So Will.
Pretty good movies, I'll say that.
He makes pretty solid movies, although not Marina's style. She hated Inception. She hated Interstellar. She probably won't watch Oppenheimer. They're also long.
Prestige is his best movie. I've long contended.
And we've talked about that. I haven't seen that. That's one of I think the only one I haven't seen of his.
I mean, everything after that, he's reaching a lot more ambitiously, but that's like a perfect fucking movie.
I need to watch.
No holes, no flaws.
Yeah.
Perfect 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I love the scene when Will, he took his bike and he's like at the base of the tower and he's like looking up, but all the it's like the Times Square of Hong Kong, but everything's like Will Sawyer wanted. So everybody points him out. The cops come. They're trying to arrest him. When he beats up the cops, spots a construction crane in the distance. Yeah, that he will eventually use that crane to get into the building.
He's gonna drive it and smash it into the building.
Oh, stupid. So Zhao is trying to get in a helicopter, but before it, he opens a secret safe that is inside a secret closet
hard
behind
drive in
a
it.
secret window door to retrieve a hard drive.
I wonder what that could be. It's important, whatever it is, right? If it's there.
Just as a guess, I'm gonna say maybe
Child porn.
maybe child porn. It could be like logs of money laundering from people that might owe him
Want to
money,
hurt
or
him?
yeah, maybe. Well, he gets that, and Will is climbing up the construction crane because the door to the elevator is locked. So he climbs the exterior of a construction crane, 110 stories up.
He's this is set up by his lack of a leg. He's got good upper body strength, like a
Yeah,
chimpanzee.
but you still need your leg to push.
Yeah, but you're swinging around.
So he's climbing it all the way up, and cops spot that he's climbing the crane, and so they're after him. They've got metal cutters or whatever, so they get into the elevator.
Metal cutters, yeah.
And they're gonna take it up, and he gets to like the very top, but he has to swing around to get to the top of the crane. And there's
Acrobatics,
this,
yeah.
my heart like actually dropped in this moment where he
It's
was
the
like
biggest stunt of the film, I would say.
doing the monkey bar thing,
Yeah.
and then he was gonna swing, but he falls and he catches himself. I was like, oh, I actually
Yeah. I mean, that stuff always gets me too.
yeah.
Easy way to get some thrills in there.
Cheap thrills. I love cheap thrills.
You end the Tovlo.
Nope.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you later.
My daughter looks just like Sia. You can't see her.
She's the bitch with the hair.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Good musician.
Very great musician. Well, in the building, Zhao is suspecting Chorus Bolta is behind all of this and wants what was in the safe. He doesn't necessarily want Zhao dead, but destroying the pearl will get what was ever in the safe for Boltas. And one of Zhao's workers has been so suspicious this whole time, trying to get them to leave and asking questions. This is a skinny white boy. But they're going to make their way to the helicopter and get the hell out of there. And while that's going on, The Rock is operating the crane. He knows how to obviously work this gigantic construction equipment. And
he knows where to place it too.
he
counted the
swings
floors.
it so that it breaks through the windows. And now he just has to
monkey himself over there.
He has to just create a zip line. He's going to run across the edge, jump down the zip line, and get into the building.
Simple. Very simple.
It's so easy. But the crane hook falls out of the building. So now he's going to have to jump a 40-foot gap from the crane
for a one-legged man.
For a one-legged man who's just climbed 110 stories and isn't winded.
A little winded, and will drop like a literal stone.
Some would say a rock.
Yeah, he weighs a lot. He's got this though, right?
Well, of course, he does a 40-foot broad jump into the building, narrowly avoiding the cops.
Rolls it in there.
The chase is all being broadcast on the news. I love that he's a wanted criminal, but as it's like broadcast, he makes the jump. All the pedestrians on the street are like, "Yeah, let's fucking go,
cool.
Will."
Yeah, it's a little bit of the. Remember when you used to watch like the high-speed chases? You always cheer for the criminal, never not cheer for the criminal, right?
Sometimes you do.
Always cheer for the criminal, unless they hit a pedestrian and kill him.
But like you don't cheer for them if they're like right there. Like you're watching on TV, like, oh shit, high speed chase in Atlanta. I'm in Montana. This is just cool. You're standing just below him doing that.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Anyway, as Zhao,
they respect the game.
As Zhao and company make it to the helicopter, his security officer realizes like that's not our pilot, and it's a trap. Bota and his crew. Pilot. Including Mr. Taylor, the skinny, suspicious white boy, bust in, killing every one of them except for Zhao.
They need him alive.
They do. But Zhao's security officer, he got shot, makes one last heroic effort, grabs his gun while dying, shoots the helicopter pilot, making him crash forward into the building, killing some of Bota's crew, and allowing Zhao to escape Bota into the penthouse. Because even though they've got control of all the security features, the penthouse itself is on a different mainframe.
Because he's got to be on his own.
Yeah, and so
He's a billionaire.
badass evil lady that's killing everybody can't open those doors with Will's tablet. And she notices that Will and his family are in the building, and Will he knows how to at least figure out a way to open the doors for Bota. But instead of catching Will, they're going to bring him to them by getting his family and holding them hostage.
How would Will be able to get in?
Because he knows the system, duh.
He's a
completely different system, but he knows it. So they're like, we're going to
trained on,
catch his family, hold him hostage. The one thing he despises the most.
Well, loves the most.
And Will's in the building real quick, patching himself up from this giant climb and jump.
Putting his leg back together.
With vodka and duct tape.
And putting his leg back together.
And putting his leg back together. And then drinks some vodka and then goes on the chase.
Yeah, but why not be a little drunk?
Duct tape is a big thing in this movie.
Yeah.
Huge.
Which is dumb. So it was hiding stuff under your shirt, Brandon.
Yeah, the two big things, duct tape and secret reveals of something maybe duct taped to your chest.
Yeah, it's coming.
And so Mr. Taylor catches Sarah and the kids and holds them Yeah, he survived. He holds them at gunpoint. But Sarah had a set of scissors with her in her pocket, like some medical scissors or something. Stabs him with the scissors and escapes with the kids.
Why'd she have scissors?
I don't know. She's a doctor. She always has to have medical shears on her, apparently.
You're right. Yeah. Stabbed him in the leg, you're right, Ricky Bobby style. So the kids all get away. They scream, they run away. And I'm going to scream and run away and get a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Cream soda, zero sugar?
Normal.
Damn. However, she stabs him. The one son's a little slower than the rest because he has asthma. So they're always worried about the smoke inhalation, making sure he's breathing right. She did like damp washcloths over their mouth so that they weren't inhaling the heat and the smoke directly from the air. But yeah,
That's a smart move.
It's a smart move. And she does get separated from her kids because this bridge skywalk, this glass bridge over the giant lobby. It's like 30 stories in the air, but it's over the lobby that's a giant jungle, basically. Mm-hmm. She's separated by a fallen burning tree.
Flames. So you can't run across flames, Brandon.
Can't. And Will comes up behind Sarah, is able to save her, and kills Mr. Taylor. But how are they going to get the kids? The bridge has broken down the middle.
There's fire in the way.
And there's fire in the way. What can you do except...
What can you do?
Pull a bridge together and hold it steady.
Like, that's... I mean, the pivotal... Yeah, the most talked about scene in the movie, probably. Right? Don't you think?
This was the scene. Like, he climbed that crane and he jumped through and I was like, okay, I can withstand it. When he held a bridge together...
With his muscles.
You guys better fucking hurry. I can't hold this bridge much longer. I was like, you can't hold a bridge.
You can't do that. It's how many pounds of force would that be?
No fucking...
Hundreds of thousands.
It's metal and glass and it's falling.
And there's a building.
And it's a building and... Oh, also it's a metal and glass and it's falling and you're just...
And there's fire in the middle.
It's so fucking stupid.
But it works.
Sarah has to climb across the bridge, the last remaining piece of it, to save their son as the rock holds it together so it doesn't collapse. And Will makes he does it. They do it just before it collapses. And Will tells his wife and his son to trust him in the elevator. They work on a magnetic line and will not, the magnets won't activate within a fire area. So what he's going to do is he's going to cut the tether to it.
Fire. Yeah.
He's going to cut the tether to the line so it free falls through the fire down to the lobby. Then Sarah has to
kick in.
pull the emergency brake to activate the magnetic stopping mechanism when it's below the fire.
Simple. And only be on fire for like a second.
Super easy. It works seamlessly, just so you will know. But
the whole movie does.
Sarah and son are safe, but Georgia, their daughter, was still on the other side of the flames and is being chased by some of the bad guys with guns. She's screaming for her dad to save her. So Will grabs a fire axe. Oh, yeah, they were. She dodged. Will grabs a fire axe, beats some dudes up, gets held at gunpoint by Bota, and he says, "You were going to help me open these penthouse doors to get to Zhao." He tells them they can't. They can only be open from the inside, or if the safety fire measures open it. But they took the fire safety offline, so they can't do anything about that.
The Rock can just get in.
No, he can't.
It does oblige whatever he does. He does help them because they also kill his family.
His daughter, yeah.
Man.
And Bota plans on using any tactic possible to get him. So they take Georgia. He's like, I'm just going to throw her off the roof. And they beat Will senselessly.
Pretty grim low point in the movie for Will.
But luckily, the area outside of the penthouse has iPads in the wall that are broadcasting the news live. Somebody turned on the news in there. And he sees his family escape the building on the live news broadcast saying, Will's safe. Or Will's innocent. He's innocent. So he gains the motivation to save his daughter.
Yeah. A classic, no holds barred. Look over and see your brother giving you a thumbs up. And gain that motivation to go kick ass.
That's right. And he figures out one special way to open the doors from the outside with a different command center. The building has its own built-in command center, but it's not quite accessible. You have to go on the outside of the building and sneak past the moving metal wind turbines. Yeah. And there's a little panel in there. I don't know why there's one in there, but there is.
You got to have a panel.
Yeah, of course. On the outside of the building, so that if it rains or snows or something or thunder strikes, it's completely open. But so he's gonna just have to get through these metal wind turbines that are hundreds of feet tall and could cut you in half on the outside of the skyscraper to do so with only one leg, and no supplies.
It's been a tough day.
Real tough day. And Sarah's speaking with that police chief to figure out that Bota is behind all of this. And he also may have a plan to parachute off the building within a 2-mile radius that's going to land in a construction site. They shouldn't have been using miles. Hong Kong does not use this system.
Sure, yeah.
But
some real Point Break shit.
It is real Point Break shit. But also, none of this was subtitled, so you really have to infer.
You have to infer.
And Will, what he's going to do, he's going to break open a window. He's going to get a bunch of rope, duct tape his hands so that they're like suction cups to stick to the side of the building to get to the turbines. So now he's rappelling with duct tape.
Wouldn't be strong enough, I would bet, but yeah.
Yeah, because he's 300 pounds of muscle.
But yeah, but he's froggying across it.
Yeah, frogging is perfect. And anyway, he's rappelling down the building, but he's so big that the tether on the pipe that he's connected to isn't holding much longer. And now he's to the turbines. He's got to jump through the spinning turbine blades. He does it, of course.
Seamlessly.
Just jump straight through. And he got the penthouse doors open by just cutting every wire in there. But when he does, because you cut the wires to the command center, it makes the wind turbines blow up and also go faster.
You not shut them down. Yeah, you're right.
So he has to jump back through the even
much
faster,
more dangerous time.
Even faster, very narrow window for his very giant man blowing up wind turbines. Yeah, of course he does. But the tether breaks. And he falls and falls and falls, but the rope grabs his prosthetic leg.
Yeah, hilarious.
So he's dangling in the air by his prosthetic leg, but his leg falls out of the leg socket.
Yeah.
But luckily he grabs the leg
He twists it.
and then just like rope climbs up to the open window.
Keeps his leg too.
He does keep his leg. And he crawls right into the penthouse. You watch the penthouse doors start to close because Xiao did it. He sticks his leg in there too that could withstand the force of these doors closing.
Yeah, his peg leg.
Wow, this next notamite's huge. Apparently, this was the note about all the reasoning of why Bota's doing this. So we'll get Xiao to tell him about it.
But yeah, he's like an extortionist guy, right?
Yeah.
And then it's all confusing. The Zhao paid him or was supposed to pay him more and didn't pay him more.
Correct. So what I see here, what I wrote down,
for it.
He works for 3 big crime syndicates, and Bota came to Zhao as a criminal. He said,
Mafia guy,
you're a rich dude. You're gonna pay for everything that's going on with me. You're gonna give us money, or I'm gonna hurt your crew, and this building's never gonna get paid. And so he's like, if you don't, Pearl's not gonna be complete. I'll cripple your labor force. So Zhao paid him, but hid tracking software within the electronic transactions that he gave out to know where all the money transfers were going and have an insurance against the extortion and money laundering that are against Zhao. So if he died, the copies of these logs would be sent to authorities and all the syndicates would go down. But with the original copy in this hard drive, if Bota gets it, he can reverse the tracking software and all the crime syndicates remain innocent.
Yeah. Makes sense. Good job.
Thanks. I was typing so much. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Some classic Hong Kong mafia type shit. And don't want to pay anymore.
Of course not.
Yeah.
And Will tells him, Zhao, you can come with me. If you don't, that's fine. But I'm taking this flash drive up to the roof to save my daughter. And so Zhao joins him. And they are negotiating the trade on the roof. But out of nowhere, Zhao crosses Will and has a gun on him and demands a parachute, the hard drive back, and make sure that he's out of there.
All he cares about is the hard drive. Exactly.
And he's like, all right, fine, whatever. He gets the hard drive and they throw it across the building. It was actually all acting. They're actors.
They did it. They were teamed up. Yeah.
It was a part of their plan. As they throw the drive, The Rock pulls a sword out of his shirt.
Where the fuck did he get this?
It's like the Excalibur. It's a whole sword.
Where the fuck did he get this?
It's not a knife. It's not like a big knife. It's not a machete. It's a sword. Like,
did I miss something?
So I think I
missed something.
I think I saw the sword as a display on the wall above one of the security panels, but it's such a minor detail that you have to see.
He just has a fucking sword, yeah.
So yeah, if you don't notice that small detail in that split second, he's Optimus Prime. He's got a sword. So he starts cutting people with swords and they escape
fucking half
into the sphere. Excuse me. With all the 8K camera nanotechnology, they make it like a giant funhouse mirror room.
There has to be other movies that end like this.
Probably.
Right?
And so, yeah, this
Carnival.
Of course.
I'm going to look it up. You go.
This creates a giant reflective mirror room, and no one knows where to go or where to fire their guns for an epic battle scene in the sphere. Zia, the badass evil woman from her earlier, are also in a shootout with the cops at the construction site because they were waiting for Bota to come. And Will's got the drive. All the goons are killed except for Bota, who finds Zhao and shoots him and runs after Georgia.
He's dead.
Back at the construction site, Sarah saves one of the cops from being shot by Zia by opening a car door into her, but now they have a girl fight in the backseat of the cop car. Yeah. And Zia makes quick work of Sarah, starts choking her out with a seatbelt when She starts honking the horn, and the main cop hears the horn honk and comes to save her. And as they take Zia away, she left behind Will's tablet in the back seat of the car.
Wow, that might come in handy.
Probably not. But Will catches Bota with his parachute on near a hole just in the floor of the building.
Yeah, sure.
And
Fire
Will
stuff.
orders him to turn around. But as he turns around, he has Georgia as a hostage and a grenade in his hand.
It's just like the beginning of the movie, Brandon.
Whoa, bookending. That's crazy.
Oh, it's his kid.
Has he experienced his own spiritual and physical growth to help get past this?
Learn the correct way to deal with the situation this time.
No, they all die.
Yeah, good end of the movie.
No, he turns around. He's got Georgia and a grenade in his hand. He says that if he shoots, he's going to drop the grenade and his daughter's going to die. But if he doesn't, he's going to drop her and she's going to die. So it's basically like, give me the hard drive and that's it. Will hesitates, but he puts down his gun, not wanting to recreate a scene from the opening of the film. But oh shit, big fucking twist. Will is like, oh, one last thing, Bota. I'm not in front of you, bitch. And he's behind him with the help of that 8K nano camera technology in the mirrors.
He's just right behind him. Literally kicks him.
Yeah, it's like he was looking at him in the distance. I don't know how he, like, obviously you're seeing things, the seeing is distorted, but how is somebody standing behind you and breathing on you? You don't notice that they're right there.
Now the Rock masters technology after learning this earlier this day.
Yeah, like literally mastering it, like knowing I need to stand right here for the reflection to be right there.
To fool this mastermind, yeah.
So big twist, he's right behind him. He kicks Bota through the hole in the skyscraper, grabs his daughter from falling. They're all safe, but the fire is all the way into the sphere now. They're choking and dying, but Sarah has the tablet, and she's trying to activate the fire systems. She can't get it to work, but she remembers back. I fucking hated this. She remembers at the beginning of the film, her iPhone wouldn't work, so Will told her 90% of the time, just turn it off and turn it back on, and it'll probably work. So she's looking at this giant, on a tablet she doesn't have access to or know how to work, and a building that's on fire with all the fire suppression that can only be done at an offsite facility. She's
with her husband's face.
She's like, "Oh, this isn't working. What if I restart it? What if I turn it off and turn it back on?" So she turns it off and turns it back on like Will did with the phone, and it's just working perfect. All the security measures are gone. Fire suppression is on everything, putting out the fire, saving Will, Georgia, and Zhao. And also the fire suppression works so fast. Like the fire it went from 96 to 225. So 129 floors were extinguished within 12 seconds.
Well, and of course, the question is begged: why is the most state-of-the-art security system in the world able to be altered by simply turning it off and on from the iPad that you don't have access to? But
like, what's the point of the offsite facility if you can just reboot?
What's the point of the Face ID? Yeah. What's the point of any of this if at any point the criminal could have just held the power button, the power reboots, and then you get into the building?
Yeah, they could have stolen the tablet and they didn't need Will anymore for the rest of the film. They just, good.
That's
put it in sleep mode, guys. Well, Zhao gets his flash drive back. He plans to rebuild the Pearl. Will is exonerated of his crimes and reunites with his family and meets Wu face to face. And that's the end of the fucking movie.
Pearl lives on.
I don't know what I hated more, the holding the bridge together or the let's hit restart.
They're both painful.
Otherwise, I enjoyed some of the watch actually, but those two moments, I was like, motherfucker, that's
pretty irredeemable, but maybe not. We'll see. We'll see based on our scores. But before we get to our ratings, Brandon, and even before we get to our quotes, we take a pause.
Oh, I was like, before we get to quotes, what do we have next? I think you're wrong. Let's do them now. We didn't do them now.
No, we took a little break. You heard a quote. Wasn't that quote just hilarious or good or something?
It'll probably be holding the bridge together in that moment.
Yeah, that's a great moment.
It'll probably be that and the restart of the two that I put in the thing.
That one's probably the restart then.
Yeah, probably. Action movies are tough. Or I might do a thing with the pandas, but action movies are tough because it's like you need to watch it. When I do Transformers and it like all the scenes are just I'm like, this is the worst. I have to only use Cogman.
Or when it's all German, like in Even Dwarves.
Or Boon Me or A Brighter Summer Day.
Yeah.
Even Dwarves was pretty good.
Mandarin for this one.
Even Dwarves was pretty good because I just used Ombre doing laughing at the fucking
There's good dialogue in the other one.
Yeah. Okay, quotes. You got any? There's no way you have a quote. Not for this.
No quote era, and I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, I may like it.
I have only 6, and I told you this before we had to stop our recording, just briefly. Not for 4 days.
No.
That I took 2 from IMDb, and I struggled to write 4 down. So
I'm sure they're great.
The 4.
Maybe with one of them, Brandon.
I'm gonna do the 4 that I took.
Okay.
When Will is talking to Ben on the boat, Will goes, "My family is everything. If I hadn't have met Sarah, I'd be," and Bill just goes, "You'd be me?" And The Rock's like, no. Oh, they'd be fucking.
Yeah, that's the implication.
You'd be inside me. Next one is Will talking to Sarah over FaceTime as everything's on fire. He's like, "I've got to get you out of this building. Henry can't breathe." I was like, you have to get him out of the building for other reasons, or they will burn and die.
Yeah. He always can't breathe. He has asthma.
When he grabs the sword off the wall, apparently, and he's going to take the flash drive to the roof with Xiao, he goes, "I'm taking that drive to the roof whether you are attached to it or not." And Xiao goes, "Okay then, so what's the plan?" And he just goes, "Got any duct tape?"
The sword.
I need to duct tape this into my dick. This one is so funny. It was Police Chief Wu talking with Sarah when she's got the tablet and just pushing it, trying to figure out how to turn it off. And he goes, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm trying to bring the fire systems back online." And he's like, "Well, is it working?" And then it just pans to a shot of the whole building on fire. And she's like, "No, not yet."
Not yet.
I'm pretty sure you could tell if it was working. It's not.
Opposite of working.
And then the 2 IMDb ones I took, another one from Will. "If you can't fix it with duct tape, you ain't using enough duct tape."
I think duct tape's a brand even.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Because I know there's a duct tape brand too.
Yeah.
Has a duck on it. He's a nice little guy. Funny little character in the front. They should do a movie with him.
Howard the Duct Tape?
No, the duct tape mascot. He should do one with that punky duck that's on the bubble gum. That's the punky one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And with
it's got like a leather necklace.
With the Chicken of the Sea dude too.
Oh.
And the Red Robin bird.
Oh, that's a good road movie. Those 4.
And Avengers of just food-based just supply-based bird mascots.
And they're going to Nashville.
The biggest record label deal ever signed. My last quote during the bridge scene. Sarah goes, I took it from IMDb, like, "What?" She goes, "What are you gonna do?" And she goes, "I'm gonna hold this bridge together."
Great idea.
You're not gonna hold the bridge together.
The perfect idea for any rock problem. I'm gonna muscle.
I'm just gonna hold it. You can't hold a bridge.
You can hold a cat.
You simply can't. But his face is so blurred out. There we go. Oh, it's
I don't know why
blurring
it does
again.
that.
Because your background's blurred out. The rest of his body's such in clear focus, but it's an anti-Jinjo lens.
Trojan
So,
Joe podcast
6 quotes total. One of our lowest of all time.
combined 6 between the two of us.
One of our lowest of all time. It's ratings time.
I've got some guesses.
Oh, let's guess then.
Thermometer.
Yep.
I think this stunk. So I'm gonna guess a 28%.
48.
48.
Yeah.
People.
Audience score?
People are stupid. So 58.
68.
Ooh, 10 off.
10 off. 10 off. IMDb out of 100 critics?
At a score?
Yeah. Yeah.
39.
51.
Fuck them.
You've been below double digits on every single one of them. You got to think higher. Audience
I hate
score
the
out
movies.
of 10.
I guess a 9.3.
No, don't guess the 9.3. That's IMDb's highest rated movie of all time, I think. No,
Well,
I think Shawshank's a 9.4, but don't guess a 9.3.
People liked it. I guess a 9.3.
Well, it's a 5.8.
Oh, I should have guessed 5.8 like I did earlier. Oh,
Yeah.
What am I
critics
doing?
gave it a 48 and a 51 for a 49.5. And audiences a 58 and a 68, for a 63.
64.5.
63.
Under protest. What are we giving this movie, Brandon?
Oh, I'm starting, huh?
Sure, go for it.
That if you make somebody else go first, it usually means you're about to give it an egregiously high or egregiously low score. So we'll see. Like I said, I didn't absolutely hate it. I'm trying to think of where it lands within the likes of
Rock's oeuvre.
San Andreas and Red Notice and Transformers and Battleship and all of that. Like,
it's of that ilk. It is of that ilk.
I mean, it's probably right around San Andreas. I'm probably going to give it a 4.4.
4.4 says Brandino.
If there wasn't the bridge and the restarting scene, it would probably be higher. But those two things are so asinine to me that it knocks it down a whole point just from those two scenes alone.
Yeah, I know that's warranted. Yeah,
maybe a whole point for each of those. Because I thought, like, the idea of, a building's on fire, you got to save your family. Sure. It's a criminal thing. It's been done before, and it's successful in Towering Inferno and Die Hard. Die Hard is an action classic, like probably one of the most classic action movies there is out there. And it's not a 4.4. It's simply not.
Yeah, that's a better movie.
But when you throw in stupid shit that are pointless and you're like, well, that's not necessary, I got to deduct big points. Like I said, I didn't hate The Rock in this role. At least it fit his physique, but he's still not the greatest. Tom Cruise would have been better in this role.
Yeah, I think so. He would have done the stunts.
Yeah. So I'm going to stick with a 4.4.
Okay. Mine's not going to be egregious, I don't think. I was just talking.
9.8.
9.8 divided by it's like a 2.6 for me, so pretty low.
Yeah.
I think slightly higher than I gave Red Notice, which gets the Ryan Reynolds tax. But I thought that it looked fine. Some of the action was decent, pretty good action. I would even say.
Yeah.
A lot of points. Unlike you, I minded The Rock in this role. I would like Tom Cruise better. I like Tom Hanks better. Anything like that. Anything like that. Imagine Tom Hanks holding that bridge together. Now we got a movie cooking here. But I think a lot of it failed, mostly at the hands of The Rock's charisma.
trying to think of another actor who would have been good in this.
Like Daniel Bruhl.
Who is that?
It's the guy from Rush.
Oh, the racing movie? What about I just
Kirk
had
Douglas.
somebody. No, not Kirk Douglas. Well, I just had somebody. John Bernthal.
He'd be grittier.
Yeah.
What about like a Donald Sutherland?
I you imagine Donald Sutherland holding that bridge to fucking god.
He's pretty tall.
I mean, he's tall and he was a fit man, but he's also like 90. So
He's got a good physique.
he's Lucas, he's 90.
He's got a good physique. He has all of his limbs too. That'll help.
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall. People cantankerous.
Oh, Sir Anthony Hopkins. He can go from Transformers 5 to this.
Yeah, he could blow up. He loves it. He
Seth
got a
was
cool
over,
watch.
Seth was over last week, and we watched some scenes from Transformers 5 again. One being when Sir Anthony Hopkins was blown up by Megatron.
At Stonehenge.
And as he gets blown up at Stonehenge, the
aspect
ratio changes. Yeah. The other one that we watched was when Megatron assembles his Suicide Squad.
That was good.
I want Mohawk, and then he's like, I want Berserker, and Berserker's like, I'll just suck your brains, and they're like, nope, not Berserker.
Can't have Berserker.
Yeah. Good scene.
Not a bad movie. Better movie than this movie.
They're close.
I gave Last Night much better.
I think Last Night was lower than this for me, but the newest one, Rise of the Beast, was higher. Anyway, Cogman's the saving grace of that.
That was the best Transformers movie so far.
I don't know about that.
Cogman one.
Reviews.
Let's skip them.
That's gonna end it this week.
No, let's do them.
3 critics. No Big Rog.
Yeah, he's dead.
Alonzo Duralde at the Wrap.
Weird.
Says a satisfying summer thriller. Skyscraper doesn't change the action movie game the way Die Hard did, but it's a solidly entertaining summer diversion, best enjoyed on the biggest theater, or even better, drive-in screen that you can find.
What? Go see it in a drive-in theater? What the fuck?
Alonzo Duralde.
2018 movie.
I know. This isn't the 60s.
Fucking bizarre. Let's not get this guy back on again.
Peter DeBruge at Variety says,
This guy's good.
This is escapism, pure and simple, and although the structure is rickety, by enlisting Johnson, Thurber ensures that his skyscraper is built on solid rock.
Maybe he's not good. Let's not get this guy back either.
And my last one's by Chris Nashawati at Entertainment Weekly.
Bad name. Let's not get this guy back either.
You should have kept skipping the reviews.
Bad name.
Chris Nashawati says, it's all passably watchable, but the main problem is that the writer-director Rawson Marshall Thurber hasn't come up with a villain nearly as memorable as Alan Rickman's Hans Gruber. I know that comparison may seem unfair, but when you're ripping off Die Hard this shamelessly, it's kind of not. C-.
Yeah. But not that memorable.
No, not at all.
Or participatory for the first half of the movie.
Yeah. And then users. I've got 7.
Songbird.
First up, on August 6, 2018, she says, although it did seem like it was going to be fairly derivative and it was not the best received of films critically, there was something that oddly interested me in seeing Skyscraper. I have an appreciation for action thriller films. The advertising didn't make one want to avoid it, and Dwayne Johnson is a likable enough guy, even if not the greatest of all actors. If there is one word to sum up Skyscraper, it would just be watchable. Another couple of words would be inoffensive and average. There's nothing really to be offended by, also not enough to be blown away by. There are good things here. It's not a bad-looking film. The photography is gritty and stylish, and scenery suitably formidable. There are some fun and quite incredible-looking set pieces, and the stunts add an affectionate nod to the Lady of Shanghai with the high-tech mirror sequence. Lady of Shanghai, there's one.
That was at the top of the list that I looked up. Same with
Dwayne
Enter the
Johnson.
Dragon.
Yep. Dwayne Johnson is a likable and charismatic lead, and Neve Campbell also turns in an above-average
He's
performance.
not likable and charismatic. Nope, disagree.
What Let Skyscraper Down is a story that does frequently get rather too silly and sometimes flabby in the non-action and stunt scenes. There's a lack of suspension and tension, and it is very predictable and sometimes illogical. Not much brains or soul here. 5 out of 10.
A little too much credit, I think. But yeah.
I agree. Like some of the words that she described as average or inoffensive or just watchable. Those check.
Cost a lot for an average inoffensive movie.
Sure. Next up, Seth Style. Snoopy Seth on August 17th, 2018. It says, this is just trying to be Die Hard with a healthy dose of Fast and Furious. But unlike Die Hard, much of this is outrageous to the point of illogical. The action is over the top. The Rock is superhuman, and quite frankly, Neve Campbell is Mrs. Superhuman. I can live with the ridiculous action, but I don't think the characters make sense. There is the really inconvenient switch placement in the blades of nonsense. But why would the bad guys leave the Rock alone after capturing him and his daughter? What's up with the crazy enter the dragon room? Boom, another one. These terrorists have all kinds of stuff. They should at least try some explosives on the door. This is far from Die Hard. It has no humor. It's not even trying to be funny. John McClane is a human being who gets hurt a lot. The Rock here is impervious and impregnable. That's this movie. It is hard to feel for a non-human, non-humorous, impregnable characters. 4 out of 10.
Yeah, that's a little more in line with my view of The Rock. A non-human idiot.
Non-humorous.
Non-humorous, non-human idiot.
Next is by Cosmasp.
He's good. He's usually great.
You hate this guy.
Do I?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's terrible usually.
October 18th, 2018, he says, Dwayne, the sky is the limit, Johnson.
That's right.
Yes, I know it's The Rock and not the sky. I hope you don't mind me juggling with the title here a bit. While there is a sort of disaster movie, self-inflicted if you want to call it that, it is also a ride. Not fun, more like a tension-filled one. And when you have a charismatic actor like Dwayne in the lead, anything can happen. Literally gravity-defying things. I saw memes about this, about one thing, where people went like, that's not realistic physics-wise. Well, if that's your angle, then you won't enjoy this one bit. 6 out of 10.
Correct. I didn't enjoy it a lot. Not because of the physics, but because of the characters, the story, filming, and the direction.
And the physics.
The physics.
Next is by newcomer CJ and T.
Welcome, step up to the plate.
On January 11th, 2020, they say, honestly, maybe being in for or just being a rational person, but how long can you be in for and not dough of CO2? Oh, what the fuck am I reading right now? I'm having a stroke just reading this.
You got this.
Like, no wonder I put this in here. They don't know how to talk. They just said, honestly, period, is the first sentence.
Honest.
Next, maybe being in for, F-O-R-E, or just being a rational person, but how long can you be in for and not dough of CO2? They talk, they pant, they spend most of movie in fire. Less oxygen goes up. Most people die of inhalation than fire. I get the Hollywood, but this was the terrible, and I wished I didn't watch this. I was excited about Neve too. 1 out of 10.
Yeah, this guy's good. This guy's good. He knows his stuff.
This guy gets it. Mostly all about fire and smoke inhalation, but
probably gonna get my award for best reviewer.
Next up, returner No God, No Masters.
That's good.
July 27th, 2018, they say, a super skyscraper of 3,500 feet is built in Hong Kong because you can never overcompensate. Will was special ops and was injured, losing his left leg below the knee. This is because no situation can match a whole Dwayne Johnson, so we have to give him a handicap to make the movie interesting. You can pretty much figure out the plot in the first 10 minutes or by just looking at the movie poster. Plot spoiler, there is a bridge of Kaza Doom scene. Guide, an F word, no sex or nudity. 6 out of 10.
He's good. He's great.
Nailed it.
2 good reviews back to back. Let's finish strong.
Penultimate is by Jacob John Taylor 1, August 5th, 2018.
Or Returner.
They say, this is a great movie. It has a great storyline. It has great acting. It is very fast-paced. It is a lot of action. It is a great movie. See it. It is one of the best action movies I have seen. It is also has Dr. No, and it is better than Skyfall. See it. It is a great movie. 10 out of 10.
Okay. Well, even though I disagree with the score, he did bring up some points that we were bringing up. Some Skyfall, some Dr. No discussion. There's a reason this guy keeps returning to this podcast. It's a good review.
And he's really good at making just declarative statements.
Hate to say it, but he's right.
And my ultimate one is by Wise _40311.
Returner?
Newcomer.
Oh.
July 18th.
Did pretty good. Let's see if this guy's
July 18th, 2018. They say, if I knew that this movie was made by Wanda, Communist China, who owns Legendary Films and AMC theaters, I would have asked for my money back. But since I used my movie pass, I'm good. I boycott anything to do with his companies because China Man wants to kill the movie pass service that was founded by 2 black Americans. Having said that, the movie was garbage. I'm a fan of The Rock, but he shouldn't have done this movie. Absolute garbage film. 1 out of 10.
Oh, swerved on us at the end there.
What do you mean swerved? They hated everything about it. Except for The Rock.
It was going to be a good review.
No, because it was made by Communist China, and he's a black man.
Get him back on. Let's try and reach out. Maybe he can come on the show personally.
Yeah, there we go. What if that's Tiki?
I should reach out. I mean, I'm deathly afraid to have him on the show.
Of what this could turn into if Tiki were on here.
Yeah, some heavy topics could get thrown around willy-nilly, but we'd love to have him on. We might extend an invitation out. We extended an invitation to Robert. We might try again later on, but that's the movie.
He could have been good for this with all the smoke and fire knowledge, but
yeah, fuck.
But that is the movie. Are you recommending?
No.
No, I'm not either.
Gross. I think that may be why Robert didn't come on this week or didn't respond. He only gets up for challenging films. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll have to
if it's the fucking Hornets at home on a Tuesday, he's not going to show up, but
we're going to have to throw the Tempest.
He'd love it.
But that is ending it this week. 2 no recommendations. Thank you, guys. Next week.
This is in movies, theaters near you. Skip it.
Next week, we've got a movie that didn't go to movie theaters.
That's usually a bad sign.
Eurovision. The Song Contest, Legend of the Fire Saga or something is the full title. I just know it is Eurovision. Will Ferrell film. Netflix original. So.
Oh no, the cat's in the watches. We gotta end this.
You gotta fucking go. Save your watches, good douche.
Good douche. Joe.
Good work.
Watches. Yeah, that was not bad.
No.
That was sexy.
It's so fucking sexy, man.
That was funny. Every time we brought her up, just pretty sexy.
Who?
The girl working for Bota.
Oh, Zia.
Yeah. Weird. Zia and Zhao almost spelled the same. Are they not?
No. Zia was XIA and Zhao was ZHAO. They only share one.
I thought Zao was Xiao. Not true.
No. Nope.
Well, bad movie. Better movie incoming.
Did you hear that Devin has a girlfriend now?
Saw a picture of him and a girl. Yeah, interesting looking thing.
And Seth's texting us right now. He has feelings for a coworker of his. He has a little crush.
It should all come on the podcast.
But I think she's moving.
Classic Seth.
She's moving in a month, and she's younger than him.
Classic Seth.
And she just bought him a High School Musical vinyl.
I likes him too. Poor guy. He should move with her.
Yeah, wherever they're going. I don't know where they're
follow
going.
her
to the ends of the earth.
In his car.
A fast car.
Be homeless together.
Perfect. That's the dream.
Romantic. All right. You go live your life, man.
Okay. You hit me up with this recording ASAP. I'm probably gonna.
Oh, yeah. Why don't I just do that right now?
I'm gonna hit some big editing tomorrow.
I'll crank one out and then I'll send it to you.
You're gonna crank one out first?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Then my mind will be clear.
Perfect.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Later.